Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Hi, this is Lotus. Join me every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on REV-UP St. Lucia for Unrestricted. What we don't talk about, what we should talk about, and what we will be talking about. Don't forget to join me every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on REV-UP St. Lucia for Unrestricted.
Okay, it's now time for another Unrestricted, hosted by the gorgeous Lotus.
Good morning,
Lotus.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning. Good morning to our listeners. Good morning to Facebook. Good morning to YouTube, X, our diaspora, Radio Land. Good morning, and welcome back to another edition of Unrestricted. Andre, good this morning. How are you?
I'm well.
You sound much better.
Yes, for sure.
So thanks for coming back. It's jazz season, Andre. Are you excited as I am?
Oh yes, that's for sure.
I'm always very excited for jazz.
Yes.
I love jazz. I'm a jazz lover.
Meaning you attend all the shows?
Jazz.
All the shows?
Pure jazz.
Or just the pure jazz?
Pure jazz,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully somebody can give me a ticket to see Esperanza Spalding. And Marsalis as well, the quartet.
Well, if we get any,
but
I'll
yes,
pass it on.
Thank you, Andre. But I like the fact that it's in the communities as well, and people enjoy themselves, and it's so well attended. I went to the Bexo Jazz. It was raining, but it was full. And it was so nicely done. So I'm glad that they take, the authorities have decided to take jazz to the communities, and people seem to be partaking very well. So,
and I think they're going to be taking jazz in Bexo to another level, meaning I think from next year, there'll be some sort of cover charge.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it was well attended and it was free.
Well,
it was free, and they had
let's
some
see what
good
happens.
artists, and it was really good. Also, Andre, I know that yesterday I had to say kudos, the throne speech and the budget. Were you listening, Andre?
Not live, but of course I had some of it in the newscast this morning.
Okay, yes, I did hear that. I was listening to it live, and I thought the number of people online was really encouraging. That's nice that people actually listen, and it was very interesting.
Most of it, I imagine,
happy.
from the diaspora. I imagine, no?
Well, I wouldn't know where they will, but on live, if you have 15K or 20K people listening, then that means people are interested in what you have to say.
Yes.
So that was nice. I felt sorry for the Prime Minister though, because he had to speak for so long, and he only had to drink water. So, but it was good. It was good listening. So I hope people can go back and listen as well. Okay, so this morning, Andre, we have an interesting conversation. I hope you will engage me.
Don't
as
I
you always do?
Yeah.
But you probably can relate or may not relate, but because you do have a sibling. This morning, I want to talk about, are rich siblings responsible for helping the poor ones?
Interesting.
Are they obligated to help their brothers and sisters, Andre? And this is, I have spoken to a couple of my colleagues, and this conversation comes up all the time, because there are siblings that it's almost like some siblings see them as the ATM. And for some reason, as we will go through the research, is that some people feel that they are entitled. Some siblings feel that they are entitled to the monies of other siblings. You know what I mean? So because you're my brother, because you're my sister, if I think that you have it, or if you're rich, you're supposed to give me.
I think I remember
obligated to do that.
Sorry, I think I remember Oprah Winfrey speaking about that on one of her shows.
Yes.
She was obviously sending a message to her family members because they were coming after her. Right? So yeah, I guess she wasn't able to probably say to them directly, but she used one of her shows to do that. Yeah.
So do you think, the question this morning that I would like my listeners and my callers to, let's talk about it. Do you think that your brothers and sisters owe you? Are they obligated to give you if they are in a better financial position? And if they are, do you think that they should watch what you are giving to your parents for them to contribute? So should they equally contribute what to what the other siblings are doing, or are they obligated to just take care of their parents?
Interesting.
So that's an interesting conversation, Andre. I think make sure you share our numbers, because I suspect some people will be calling. Yeah,
no problem. Okay, the fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or the WhatsApp platform, it is 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. Again, the fixed line 572-9710, or WhatsApp 287-0971.
Okay, let's go. Are your siblings who are better off than you financially obligated to help you? Recently, I was listening to a rapper's sister. She took to social media to complain that her sister was living the life whilst her siblings and mother were all having a hard time in life. And if some people who are into the rap world, and they would have seen Glorilla's sister. Glorilla is a rapper, and her sister came online and was saying that Glorilla is living the life, sitting courtside and having a ball, and they're struggling back in where they're from.
So how many other siblings did she have?
No, I didn't see that. I just saw the sister. The sister was ranting and raving at her at the Star for not coming to look for the mother and herself, and I guess maybe the rest. I'm not sure what the number of her siblings, how many other siblings, but she was just very disgruntled, and she took it to social media to say that basically you are not a nice person because you're there living the life, and we're struggling over here, and you're not giving us anything. So whether rich siblings are responsible for poor ones is a subjective issue rather than a legal obligation. This is what the research is saying, and I think it makes sense. With perspectives heavily divided between family duty and personal accountability. So what is your duty to your family? And I know that, Andre, in some families, especially in the African culture, there's a heavy burden on some siblings, if they are well off, to take care of their family. Even sometimes when they go off to school, they have to make sure they send everything back. And it's almost like, I guess culturally, it's an obligation. They feel they have to do it, because it shows that some of them, their lives are even destroyed because they feel so bad if they cannot send, and then the pressure is on them. It's not them making the decision to decide whether to send or not. They are obligated to send it. And if they don't, it's almost like you get disowned, right? That's how serious some family members, some cultures view that. Siblings typically experience each other as children and then go through a period of separation. During the separation period, they establish a sense of self, independence, and purpose. The re-establishment of siblings as a family unit in their adult years must often be an intentional process. The process requires energy and commitment from each sibling, as they must overcome the emotional baggage and behavior patterns they carry from childhood. So it's not always that, and what this is saying, it makes a lot of sense, Andre, because you grew up in a house with many brothers and sisters, and most times you hear people say they don't have the same experience as children growing up.
It's the same experience.
They don't experience their parents the same way. They don't experience each other the same way. You know what I mean? So you would have grown up, be in a house maybe with your brother and sister, and then your brother would say one way that he grew up, and you would be there, huh? I mean, maybe you would hear similarities, but his experience, the way he experienced your parents, may not necessarily be the same way you experience your parents. And accordingly, he may experience your sibling, your sister, better than you, or not at all. Some siblings grew up in the same house and don't speak. They never develop that relationship with each other. And I'm building on that because I think that relationship is everything. It's the foundation. Because even if you grew up in the house with someone and they're your brother or your sister, or even a brother or sister that you discover that you have later, the relationship sometimes dictates how you interact, whether you feel obligated to help or not. So if the relationship is not there, some siblings don't feel like they don't owe you anything. And really they don't, legally. They have no obligation to you. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm there thinking.
What you thinking?
I was just thinking, right? Because I have little stories. I have stories.
And I love your stories.
What if, right? What if all of you are not doing, all the siblings, they're not doing very, very well.
Okay.
But one of them emigrates, goes to the US or to Canada, those places, and wins the lottery. Yeah. And they get a 30 million windfall, for example. Do you think that sibling, I don't want to use the word obligated, because you said by law they're not obligated to do that.
That's right.
Do you think that there's some kind of
moral obligation? That's what
yes, for the sibling to reach out to their siblings and help and give?
Well, based on you see what I just said, there is the fact that some siblings, based on the relationship, if there's no relationship, some siblings will tell you they don't owe anybody anything.
Right.
Even though, so maybe they're not speaking to that brother, or that brother abused them, or maybe in the childhood there was some kind of,
yes,
traumatic experience, and so no, they feel they're not obligated.
And I agree with that.
However, depending,
we're talking about a relationship.
Of course, you would want to help,
because, for example, I can speak about my family. We have a very, very good relationship.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So
if I were to win $30 million, I mean, Tony would still be alive.
I like that. I like that, Andrew. That's a good one. That one is a very good one. You're right. For me, I think the same way as you, in terms of, again, if I had that kind of money and my siblings did not have, I would look to help. But again, we will see the various.
But let me ask you: you have $30 million that you've won. Let's be honest. How much? Okay, say you have 5 siblings. How much would you give each of them?
But what kind of question is that?
It's a good one. It's a good question. And I have a reason for asking that. So go ahead. After you answer,
for me,
I'll give you the story.
I think it's based on many things. It's not something I can just tell you off my head, that just because I have $30 million, I will give a particular sibling $5 million. I may give one $5 million. I may give another one $200,000. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying
it's based on relationships.
You have a good relationship. I mean, you have a good relationship. Keep that in mind. You have a good relationship
Andrew,
with your
that
siblings.
means you're trying to find out if I cheap or if I want. It depends, Andrew. It depends on my obligations in terms of what I have to do. I may have financial debts that may cover 50% of the winnings, Andrew. So it depends on what's happening. But I know what you're trying to establish. Without, again, that debate is, to me, it's not even here nor there. Once I am able to contribute to making the person's life a little better, then I would.
I can tell you now. If I were to win $30 million, I have my five siblings, for example. They each getting about $5 million. Each of them. That's for sure. Now, I told you I had a little story.
Okay.
There's a particular person. They won that amount. Okay.
30 million.
Yeah, 30 million.
Go ahead.
And all they sent for the siblings, I think, were barrels.
You see what I mean? You see, now our callers have to engage us. They have to tell us what they would do. But again, I think going back to the discussion is that there is a dilemma between whether you're morally obligated.
You have a caller?
I have a call.
Yes, you certainly do.
It's going to be exciting. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Good morning, Lotus. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody this morning?
We're well, thank you. What about you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank God for that. Well, this morning I want to make a contribution towards your discussion.
Yes.
And that is, our rich siblings have no obligation to help us. They work hard for what they have. We're supposed to work hard for what we have. And we must be satisfied with whatever we got. Okay? When a young man or young woman is growing up and they decide this is what they're going to do with their life, and they want to have this by 30, by 40, I want to achieve this or that. Okay? You try and make it work. Sometimes it don't happen as you plan, but sometimes it does, and then you end up having a little more than you expected. Then if you want to share with your family, there is not a problem. This is your family, and you want to share. That's not a problem. But you're not obligated to help. Well, if it's just your parents, that's fine. But your siblings, you don't owe your siblings anything. Then love them. And if you want to help them, you help them. So why I'm saying that is because of an experience I've had in life. My elder brother is very rich. And he has been helping the family because he wants to. And those that he didn't help, they got vexed with him because they feel he was supposed to help them. And he didn't. So I've had that on my mind for a long time. And it's a long time I wanted to say that. Because, listen to me, when somebody's working hard, they're not working for you. If they are married and they have a family, they're working for their children and their wife, or their husband and their children. But they are not working for their siblings. If they want to share with their siblings, no problem. Okay?
Yes.
Well, that is my take on that. Okay. You all have a blessed day, both of you.
You as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yes.
You see, she was saying if you work for your money, people should not be waiting. But
let me ask you a question, Lotus, because I don't know the answer.
You look like your brain is going,
yes,
Andrew.
I don't know the answer to that. I've been asking this for the longest while. Why are we so jealous of our money? Why are we so jealous of it? I don't know the answer to
jealous
that.
Jealous of money?
Of our money. We're jealous of it. We don't want to see it. When I say we, I'm talking about almost everybody, every human being
what do you
on
mean
this
by
planet.
We are jealous of it?
We don't want to part with it. We have a hard time letting it go.
Well, it's not all of us. Some of us have nothing in the bank. We let it go. We spend all of it. We know how to let it go very well.
Well, we spend it on ourselves.
Or another things when we don't say it.
But I'm talking about being able to free up the hand. And to help our siblings. Especially if we have I want to say this again. There's a good relationship there. There's a good relationship, but we just tight with this thing. Why are we so tight with it? That's the question I want to ask.
Well, Andrew, sometimes it's rooted in the way we grew up as well. Don't forget that as we talk about in Unrestricted, we always talk about the childhood experience. And sometimes some of us, we grew up with nothing. We were so poor. We didn't have. Again, you have a household where you have a drunk father and the two sons behave differently. So you may have one sibling that maybe her hands or his hands are wide open to give and help his or her siblings, but you may have other siblings who, for some reason, they're so afraid of losing their money or even sharing it that they, and it's rooted in the trauma of poverty and not having, and now they don't want to ever be hungry again. These things play on the psyche of a lot of people, and unless they really confront some of it, they may be that way.
Well, you say some people go through those experiences, so then that would have to be every single human being on the face of the planet.
Not necessarily,
because everybody, including yours truly, we are very tight with money.
You tight, Andre? You're a cheap man?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
We have a sort of...
Okay,
let me give you a little example. There's a lady in Australia. She's worth, I think, is it $27 billion US? It's worth that, right? And I think a couple of her father's children were supposed to have inherited some of the man's earnings from an iron ore company that they have in Australia. That came out just a couple of days ago. There was a trial going on for years. She's worth $27 billion US, and she's fighting them. Well, Andre, you have other issues. You have underlying issues, Andre. That's one of the things. But you're saying the same thing again. The underlying issues. Well, everybody has underlying issues.
But it goes down to the heart, Andre. It goes down to the heart. There are people who have problems with their siblings. It goes deep. Whether it's childhood jealousy, whether it's somebody you did, your brother or your sister did you something that you hold a grudge for, whether you got abused by your sibling. I mean, there are a myriad of things, Andre. People don't have to feel that way about their sibling if they are not healed from whatever they are going through. And as well, some siblings feel that they are entitled. Okay. There's an entitlement. But should you have that entitlement?
But Lotus, if the children are entitled to it,
if you're entitled to an inheritance,
yes, and they're fighting you,
That's a different conversation. No,
it goes back to the question I asked you. Why is it that we are so? It comes to money. Remember the last time you were here, I was saying there's some things that when you ask, there's like a wall that just comes up immediately. And one of the things is money. You have a call.
Okay. But I still think it's tied to the background and what's going on there. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Hey. Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Lotus.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Okay. Thanks for accepting my call.
You're very welcome, always.
Before I contribute, Andre, you were in your glory last night,
Last night? Oh.
Doctor in the house,
Well, we had a hot show last night.
I had to give you a joke. I saw it. I laughed so much. Yes.
Okay. Lotus, when you talk about siblings, you're talking about brothers and sisters,
Yes, we are.
Okay. I believe we have an obligation to help our siblings, brothers and sisters, if we are blessed financially. Yeah, if one member of the family, talking about brothers and sisters, like blessed financially, because you were talking about the 30 million there and so forth. I mean, it's an obligation,
That's what you think?
Because sometimes, because you see, sometimes people believe when you help somebody, like you give somebody. To me, there is a difference between helping somebody and giving somebody. You understand? Because, like you have that windfall there, put about the 30 million. Even if your sibling, one of them, like on drugs, and you're trying to help in rehabilitation and so forth. I mean, that is good. You're obligated to do that. Yeah. You even have to forgive about if when you were in your teens, like you had a bitter relationship and so forth. But you have this volume, this amount of money there, where you can help one of your siblings who is struggling. You are saying that like he or she doesn't deserve that. That is your money. That is my money. I don't have to give. No, I don't believe in that.
And Mr. Sylvester, sometimes we quick to help people outside of the family.
Outside.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why you siblings, brothers and sisters, I believe that's where it's supposed to start. And you who have that financial blessing there, man, you're obligated to help your siblings, your brothers and sisters. If your mother and father's alive, you can. But mother and father, then siblings. Yeah. You're obligated to do that. There's no two ways about that. You have to. And I believe in that 100%.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice day. We have another call.
Hello, good morning. Are you helping your brothers and sisters?
What's up, Andre?
Hey, the sky. How are you?
Well, head for it, man. I'm all right.
All right.
Andre, I had a brother. He died. A younger brother. He was the number one rapper in England. Number one. He was rated number 3 MC in the world. He used to come here every year for the jazz festival. I never asked him a cent. He never gave me a cent either. You could look him up. He's on the net. MC, the original MC Duke. I sent you his music already.
Yes.
I never asked him a cent. He never gave me a cent. I never talk about money with him. And he died without giving anything to me. That's my story.
That's exactly what Lotus is talking about. And that's the thing. Should we have that kind of attitude? Right? Lotus, you spoke earlier about maybe a sibling, maybe you're not talking for years and so on. And you're doing very, very well. And you see that particular sibling going through a rough time. Should you hold that against the person? I mean, your own.
One thing about our relationship, it was very good. The way he got to know about me, he saw me on the visitor channel, and then he called somebody, gave him the phone number to Unrestricted that I was giving at the same time. He came to me not even knowing he was my brother. I never asked him a cent. He never gave me a cent, and that's how. We had a good relationship after that.
Wow.
After he got to know who I am. I told you, he came to me not even knowing I was his brother. When he was questioning me about who my parents were, and he realized I had the same mother with him.
Oh, wow.
So is he still alive?
No,
he died last year.
Okay.
Were you in need though? Was there a need? Did you feel?
Aren't we all?
No, I'm just saying. some of us know we can take care of ourselves, Andre. I mean, did you feel, you said he never gave you anything and you never requested anything from him.
Yeah,
did you feel did you feel that he needed to give you, or you just felt it was just a normal reaction?
I listened to his conversations very well. I heard what he had to say to other people and what he had to say about his finances, on what he was going to do with it or what he's doing with it. But he came to a hotel every year in the north to the jazz festival. So from the time I heard him talk, I say, you see, mate, I ask him, it's nothing.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You see, Andre, I believe that it's about relationships, not because because think about it. A sibling, yes, although they come from the same mother or father with you, they're almost like a friend, like, you know.
Yes.
And so I think it depends on the relationship that you have with the person. I don't think that your siblings are obligated, like we were saying. They're not, but it's because of what they feel in their heart. It's because if they feel that it's okay, it's necessary, maybe they feel, and it must be on them. They feel that it's they're in a good position to do it for you. It will make them feel good, but you're not entitled to their money.
I agree. But that lady I spoke about in Australia, she is known for giving lots of money to sports organizations, all those things, right?
Do you know what her brothers and sisters did to her?
No, that's what I'm saying to you. Look at how we are with strangers, right? We're able to give strangers stuff we'll never even get back. I'm saying if we know that this is our sibling, yes, it's true. There may be history. I'm not going to.
That's what I'm saying.
There may be issues and so on. But if I am doing extremely well, I'm a multi-billionaire, and I see my sibling that hasn't been speaking to me for years is going for a rough time. This kind of person I am. Oh wow.
Andrew, take a pause.
Oh wow.
Take a pause.
Sure. You have a caller.
I have a call. Okay, I'll come back to it. I want to give you an analogy.
All right.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Lotus and Andre Paul, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Sir.
How are you all doing?
Well, thank you. What about you?
I am doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
No pain, no aches. The weather is nice in Pennsylvania. I'm all right.
Wonderful.
Now, you always come with an topic. Now, I had a bad experience with my brother. I never win lottery. I just had a few dollars done him, and he wanted to sell a car to go to England. I bought the car from the fund, and this had so much problem. I ended up getting bankrupt. This guy, we never had a good relationship, but I always consider him as my brother. But to him, I was nothing. I helped him. I bought the car, and this car got me bankrupt. And this guy right now, he's not talking to me. So I think most of the time, it's better to help a stranger than
your brother.
Than your.
Yeah, but the stranger can do the same thing, huh? What you just enunciated there. The stranger can turn around and never show any gratitude. That can happen as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes the stranger would say, wow, this guy is not even my relative and he helped me so much. I better appreciate because of what he did. Seriously, because I consider my brother, my mother's father, and he treated me like this.
Okay.
That's my take on this topic.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You have another call, Lotus.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Hi, good morning, Andre. Good morning, Lotus.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thanks for calling.
Okay, this is a nice topic.
Thank you.
I would like to say I agree with the host insofar as saying there is no legal obligation. I'll agree with that. But having said that, I would say, as family, I think we have a moral obligation to help each other if we are in a position where we have, well, with the example Andre gave, a windfall of 30. If I have $30 million, there's no way the rest of my family will be sucking salt. No way. Everybody will get a clean slate. I can tell you that, and some more.
So are you saying that despite Lotus' point, because Lotus keeps driving this point, that it depends on the relationship. In other words, one of your siblings hasn't been speaking with you for years.
But Andre, we're doing things for strangers, like you say, that we never even
exactly.
speak to.
That's my point.
Far less
Yes.
for at the end of the day. Well, again, Andre, you still have to leave some leeway for the subjectiveness, because at the end of the day, it will always be subjective. Like I said, for me, it will be, because I always think, if I have excess money, Andre, I will do things like, to help the poor, whatever, do things to help people, because that's what we're here for, on this earth. We are blessed by God with our talents, but some people believe their talents are theirs, and it shouldn't be shared. So that's why some people believe, well, because I'm the surgeon, I should be a millionaire, and because you are a housekeeper, you should be poor eternally. We don't believe that the lady cleaning the house has a special duty to perform, because you are the surgeon. You can't be home cleaning. You have to be in the hospital doing the surgery. But if that happens, then your house becomes a pigsty. So you have to show appreciation for that person and give her a good salary, because you're making a good one as well. So I think the thing about the greed, that is the biggest problem in the world. The greed, the jealousy, all these things are things that God tells us not to be. But being who we are, innately selfish, that's human nature. We are innately evil and selfish and whatever, So we always tend to think of the world in the I form. But if we have to look at it as God wanted it for us to, to share our talents and to share our gifts with each other, because we cannot all have the same gift, So we need to share that wealth and share that love and whatever. So especially in a case like Andrew said, the windfall. Now it may be a little different if somebody is working hard to accumulate their wealth, because you don't know what debts those people have. But still, if you have been able to successfully create a building and you become a millionaire, it means or a billionaire, it means you are very successful. And therefore, as anything else, you should be willing to help lesser of your, especially your siblings, because I'm sure, like that lady from Australia, she is helping sports organizations and this and that, But yet, based on the story I think I heard you give that story.
Yes.
She manipulated the inheritance
so that they wouldn't get anything. So that they wouldn't get.
So that was selfish, That was something that was not a good thing for her to have done, and then for them to be fighting for 13 years, that just goes to show you her heart is hard. Because to me, after by the time the people threaten to take you to court, to me, you should just look to settle the people instead of dragging your family in court. So again, this is all subjective, depends on the individual. But personally, I think as family, we are not obligated legally, but I think morally, I think we should feel obligated to help our lesser siblings if we are in a very good position to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Especially that sibling or those siblings are going for a rough time.
Now,
especially they're going for a rough time.
Now, Andre, you know, Unrestricted is a very deep show. Sometimes I want us to dive a little deeper. It's not just about you having the money and you not giving your family and you, when you talk about strangers, some of us have better relationships with strangers than we have with our siblings, right?
Yes.
So I'm not saying that, morally you cannot, you if you feel, that's why I'm saying as the person. But I think it goes back to the relationship that you have with your family members or your siblings, because you were saying a while ago, it doesn't matter what happened. But if you really think about it, if someone has murdered your brother or done your brother's, I'm not saying you cannot forgive them, but maybe when you win your millions, you will not think of giving them anything, even if they came and asked you for it.
Even a stranger.
It doesn't even, so even if it's your sibling or whatever the person did to you, that maybe it's not like you don't get away from it, but you don't have that establishment of that relationship. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Like the ties are cut. There are siblings that don't speak, they don't communicate, they don't care if, they just share a parent, and that's just how it is. There's probably just no relationship. Now, I'm not saying that some of the callers do feel, because of course it's always how people feel, but it's not, it's at the end of the world if somebody feels they don't want to give their sibling their money, whether or not they have a windfall. Does it make that sibling that's not giving a bad person? Because when you speak of the lady in Australia, obviously there's a backstory. There's some hate. There's something going on there that happened in that family. So of course that's why there is a reason why people behave the way they do. But in the discussion, I'm saying that against the argument, there's no obligation.
Yeah, but the one that we're speaking about, the lady in Australia, the father's wishes were clear that they were supposed to inherit.
But that's not what we're talking about now.
She fought them.
But that's not what we're talking about now.
I know.
She is terrible if that's the case.
Yeah.
If it's a story where the father's wishes are clear, you cannot go against your father's wishes and be a greedy person. That is a different thing. But I'm talking about windfall or not, you're working hard. We're just talking about if your sibling is rich or has money, today, what is it that, are they obligated to give you their money? Are they obligated to share it? No, I'm not saying, they cannot give you. But when we look at the argument, yes, there's family bonds. If you're close to your family, obviously you will feel, an obligation to help your family. But you also have situations where there's enabling behavior. There are some family members that think you owe them something because you're making more, and when you give them, they come back over and over and over again. They don't try. Do you think it's right for your siblings to sit and not do anything, and you have to take care of them because you have the money?
Again, it depends. It depends on the sibling's situation. We'll get back to that in a moment. You have a call.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Welcome. Morning, Lotus.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Lotus, I agree with you 40 million times. Agree with you.
Tell me why.
It all depends on the relationship. Honestly, right now, I openly say that if I have money, they have strangers I have in my life that love me dearly and care about me, that I will give and not give to my siblings. Honestly, I'm saying it bold.
Okay.
Because it all depends on the relationship. It all depends on the relationship. That doesn't mean because I owe you anything, because all the time I didn't have, we have not been speaking for years. We have bad blood between us. No matter how much I try to reach out to work out on our relationship, it ending up in the same way because you don't have that genuine love for me as a sister. So because the wind blow and $30 million come under my bed, I will give. I don't owe you anything. I don't have to.
Okay, Shamin. Sorry, Shamin.
Yes,
I understand, and Lotus has been repeating that point over and over again. All right. So let's just assume you get a windfall, the $30 million, you get that. You come to St. Lucia, and you see that same sibling of yours, right? Living in a little shack somewhere in the hills. There's no electricity, there's no water, there's nothing inside that house there. There's not even a bed. The person sleeping on a cot or something like that. That's your sibling. And it's true, maybe y'all didn't have a good relationship. You have a windfall of $30 million. You're saying that you will still harden your heart and not help that sibling?
I might give you a little change, but I'm not going to go buy a house for you. I might not go and buy a house
I was
for
waiting.
you.
I was waiting for the response.
Maybe you being like that because of the way you treated me. Maybe karma got to you.
Exactly.
I might give you a little change, but I don't have to go and buy your house. Even my own children.
Wow.
And I find you're not treating me well enough, and then I have something. Maybe I might even think twice Because it's a relationship, Lotus. No matter children, family, siblings, it's how people treat you. It's how people treat you and love and respect you. It doesn't matter who the person is. That's where it ends up.
And it's not like you're going out of your way to make their life more difficult, because it's not that you're not giving them if they came to ask, or she's not saying that.
Right.
But
Yes.
I think you're not obligated. That's what I think Andre is trying to.
I'm not obligated. Right.
Andre is trying to pull on the heartstrings to make us feel as if.
I think Andre is the second Jesus Christ on earth.
That's a compliment. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ on earth. Because the kinds of things Andre does say, boy, I wonder if he really reach that point, if he actually do what he does say he's going to do. Andre said. But I'm not saying I'm not going to give you a little something, but not going to build your house because I have my money. No, where were you when I was young? But it's not any hate, and still not I don't carry any hate for you or anything. I just thinking of that you don't love me enough, so you don't deserve what I have to give.
Okay.
Honestly. Okay. Yeah.
I don't agree. Thank you. I don't agree with that at all. Oh man,
Andre, it's a deeper level of thinking, Andre, and I don't think because it's not tied to unforgiveness. It's indifferent, and the person can decide to make that decision or not. Right?
Sure, no problem.
They can decide to make that decision. And I said for the arguments for that responsibility, of course, many believe that family is a support system, and helping each other in times of need is an extension of that, often based on the idea that you should not watch family suffer when you have the means to help. So of course that's an argument for that there's the family bond, but again, that's in the absence of not having an issue that is traumatic. Maybe you as the sister or the brother, or the separation is so deep that you don't feel the person is almost a stranger to you, and so you don't feel that obligation to help. Empathy and solidarity. Some argue that if not out of obligation, it is a moral or compassionate choice to lift siblings up rather than leaving them to struggle. So of course, again, I think that is based on the bedrock of having just a normal, like you say, you have your brothers and sisters. You may not be necessarily close to them, but you come into a windfall and you decide, okay, it's, you're going to help. But is it something, when you look back, save that you're not, speaking of unforgiveness, you may not have that relationship with them, so you may not have to do that.
Let me just give the numbers again. The fixed line is 572-9710. Fixed line 572-9710, or WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971.
Okay, so let's look at some of the key factors influencing our decisions as siblings to help our other siblings. One, they're talking about the perceived need. Assistance is more likely if the struggle is due to unforeseeable circumstances like illness or job loss rather than poor choices. So siblings are more inclined to want to help if you just lose your job or you got sick and the person have the money to help. A lot of them are more inclined to do that. So that's one of the influencing decisions, that the key factors that influences our decisions to help them. The relationship quality, and remember I said that mutual love and respect play a huge role, and if the relationship is strained, support is less likely.
You have a call, Lotus? This is Unrestricted.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted. Are you rich and helping your siblings?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Andre, how are you doing, man? Andre, you're not getting recovered from that thing, man. There's something you're doing that you're not supposed to do.
I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, so I'm getting better.
So what's that? In chambers.
That's right. When I meet you in the boulevard, I'll tell you.
Okay. All right. Andre, I like the conversation this month. That topic, I love it. Now, the lady said, you are Jesus Christ on earth. Andre, let me tell you something.
What she said.
A little Jesus Christ on earth. Andre, let me tell you something.
TJZ.
As far as I look at it, you have your siblings, you have children, they check in for you, you check for them. Okay? So my siblings are not checking for me, my children are not checking for me. Because today I win the lotto. I put it on the lotto because I play it. I win the lotto, $1 million. So because I win the lotto, I have to come and buy you all that don't even know if I am alive, I'm surviving.
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know where Lotus is probably seeing. I'm saying if a sibling of yours is really down and out, that person, things are bad with them. I'm saying in that situation, no matter what has happened there, you have an obligation. I don't know, it's not a legal obligation, but a moral obligation to help out.
The word obligation should never be there. Andre, we don't need a cent for us to check each other, my brother. This morning I was saying that on my show, at my home. You understand? You sick people don't check for you, Andre, but when you die, they send in all kind of condolence and greetings to you and your family and this, that, and the other. You don't need that when you die. It's why you are alive. Somebody come and visit you, give you a phone call. You don't have to be in somebody's feet all the time, Andre, but you have a sibling that checking for you. Something happened. First thing you're going to say, my wife, and then let me check for my sibling. My wife, my family, which is your immediate family, your wife, your children, your grandchildren. And there are some children of yours, they don't even need for you to check for them, Andre, because they don't check for you. So because I win $1 million, I have to come and buy you, saying I'm your big brother, and this, that, and the other. Where in the Bible that's written? Huh? So what the lady said a while ago.
So what about okay? So you ask about hold on. You ask about what the Bible doesn't say so. So what about Joseph now? You know the story, right?
About what Joseph do?
You remember his own brothers tried to kill him and so on, and they sold him as a slave. And then when he became the second most powerful person in the world at that time, he forgave them and he treated them well.
Yes, that was in those days.
But you just asked a while ago. You say, "Where in the Bible it is?" I give you an example.
Yeah. But that was in those days.
Yeah.
But now, Andre, let me tell you, we living in a world of selfishness now, Andre. You understand what I'm saying? A world of selfishness. You have the person that don't have. You looking at them as though they're nothing. You paying. But Andre, when you see you win that money, remember Dr. Secret always giving you a shout. Brother, if you can't tire, you understand? So what the lady said that you are in Jesus Christ, and I'll have to look at you better than the way I did.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, moving forward.
All right, then. You take care. Look at good program. I like that.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You have another call.
I have another call. Good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Good morning, Lotus.
Good morning. How are you?
Andre.
Hello, the teacher Jean.
Yes.
All is well.
Yes. By God's grace. Andre, when love goes in all, the love of God is for everyone, right? If you have the love of God, then it is for everyone. Now, you will not think the person you do not know, and you hear the person is in need, or the person is not related to you in any way. Wouldn't you want to assist that person? Wouldn't you assist that person?
A stranger you're talking about?
A stranger.
Yes, I made that point earlier. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you can assist a stranger, and it's your own relative, even if they were not checking for you, all right? Yes, would I look at it as the same. I would look at you as just as I'm looking at a stranger. I can give the stranger a plate of food. I can give you a plate of food. What is wrong with that? All right? If I can put 2 nails to build a house for the stranger, the same I can do the same for a sibling of mine who does not love me and who had nothing to do with me, as long as I am able to help. So I don't see where we have to leave say we're not helping us.
Can I ask you a question, Teacher Jean?
Yes.
The basis of the feeling when you're giving to the stranger and as opposed to the sibling who doesn't love you. The fact is, you said that the stranger, you don't have any emotional connection to that stranger. So that stranger has not shown you that they don't love you. That stranger is, it's just neutral. That sibling who does not love you now, you have that impediment where you know that person doesn't love you, so it's an emotional rejection, so to speak. So you think you would feel the same way between the stranger and your sibling who doesn't love you?
Well, I believe in God's word, which says, love your enemy, do good to them that hate you, and despisefully use you. So I will follow according to the word of God. I will feel that way. I would have, with me, that's me. The person who hates me, the person who does do evil against, I have nothing against the person. That's how I don't feel any. I know you did me wrong, you did me bad things, but I don't hate you to the point that I cannot even offer a helping hand. All right, so that's how I am. You may say I will still have it in my mind that you are my family, and you did not do for me, but that does not mean that I will, because I believe you did not do and somebody else did. God always sends somebody to do. The person who you do for is not the person you are doing for. That's not the person that you will get when you will need somebody else who may come and assist you. So on the basis of that, I feel I could assist in any way. All right.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
You see,
go ahead.
You see, it's always good to have the perspectives of many different people.
Yes.
I love it.
But let me give you a little story. I like stories, right? There's a gentleman who I know. Okay, I know him very, very, very well. Okay, he has fallen on some real hard times. Much of it is fault, right? His fault. But he's falling on some real hard times as we speak. And his son had an accident, and he was entitled to, I think, $1.7 million, which he got.
Son? Okay.
Yeah, it's US. And the father is in a bad way, and he reached out to the son, and the son told him, "Well, I put the money in the bank so we can get interest."
That was the son's response?
That was his response. You have another call, Lotus?
Wow. Oh, okay. I'm still a little perplexed. Good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody's looking at it as the sibling who has to give. But I would like to look at it at another point. Like me as the sibling who doesn't have, expecting my sibling who has to give me. But I'm from a family. My mother has 7 of us, and we are close.
Okay.
But I'm the second, and those after me, I would say they have more than me, or they acquired more than me. But I don't expect them to give me anything. I don't wait for them to give. I try to make my own, or what I can do for myself. And when my kids were younger, what I could do, I would never wait I don't have for my son today, and let me ask my brother, or let me ask my sister.
You don't have the expectation that they should give you.
Exactly, that they should give me because they have. So I think people normally, like brothers and sisters, they expect their siblings to give them. I don't think we should expect people to give us. If they give us and we want to accept, we accept. But we should try to rely on ourselves and our talents, on what we can do for ourselves, and not expect people to give us or hand something out to us. It may be that somebody sees that we need help and they would give it to us. But we're not supposed to expect our siblings to give us. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Well, let me bingo.
Okay, bingo.
That's the call.
But let me ask you a question, caller. Let me ask you a question. Okay, and I gave the example a while ago. You have fallen on hard times. You live in a shack, right? You have no electricity, no water there. You're basically on your own, and just imagine you are that sibling. That's the one that's fallen on hard times, and then your sibling who is doing well. Right, doing very, very, very well. We spoke about the windfall earlier. Wouldn't it be natural for me to be thinking and saying to myself, hey, I expect my sibling to reach out to help me. Would that be unreasonable?
Yeah, because, well, in my case, I would say yes, it would be unreasonable because that's not how I was brought up. We were brought up to fend for ourselves, to see what we can do for ourselves, and not expect people to give us.
So you're saying if you fall in hard times, you don't have electricity, no water, no running water at your house, and so on. Nobody's really checking for you. Things are rough with you. You would not be expecting any of your siblings who are doing so much better to help you out. That's what you're saying.
Well,
she's saying that there should not be an expectation.
It's not a question of saying. I'm saying you would be saying that to yourself, that you would be expecting your sibling to help you out.
Like I said to you, like I told you, my siblings are doing better than I am, or were doing better than I was, and I never expected them. I was never.
No, caller. I gave you a scenario. Are you in a house where you have no electricity, no water? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Hello?
If I was in that situation, I'm not saying that, but if I was in that situation, I don't think I would expect them to pay my electricity bills for me or anything. I would try to get it on my own.
Wow.
Do whatever I can. I don't know.
Didn't you have a topic on that recently, Lotus, about being independent and so on?
I cannot even remember.
Yeah.
Exactly. Independence.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, no. It was about asking for help. Right.
Yes.
That's what you were talking about.
Thank you, caller.
Yes.
Andre,
and if I recall,
what she touched a nerve there that made a lot of sense. It's expectation. Andre, you shouldn't have the expectation that your siblings have to give you something. The other point I want to make is that some of us, we help our siblings over and over and over again whilst they continue their dysfunctional lives. Should we be obligated? Should we continue to help them?
Well, that's a separate matter. That's a separate matter. That's a separate matter. Let's take a final call.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Unrestricted.
Good morning to you, Miss Lotus. Good morning, Mr. Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good. First time calling that particular show, but I'm always
welcome.
Right?
Welcome.
So for me personally, I figured some of the people who called, they spoke based on the personal experience and the relationship that they have with their siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try to go through both in my particular case. So I'm happy that I have a good relationship with my siblings. And I'm saying, even now, I know every single one of them, they don't just expecting me to help, but they know, because I speak it all the time, that if I'm able, there's no doubt. Because, we have a group chat and we say, people growing up, their family, young family, so nobody is not really at a stage to say if there's a big birthday that one person could just take on the mantle. But if I'm in a position to do it, and let's say my mother's birthday, something coming up, I will not be looking at my sibling to say, you have to bring in 500, you have to bring in. The next thing again, if I'm in a position like Mr. Paul said, the 30 million, the next thing again, when my relative falls sick, whether there was a death or something, Mr. Paul, I personally will never want them to be standing up or not knowing how we're burying that person. That's me. That's something I will ensure that will be done. Now, on the other side, some people say maybe you have a bad relationship with a relative. And let's say your mom died and they left some land, and they have one person who is able to help more. And this one person is using their money to pay a lawyer to maybe take all the land. And you that unfortunate maybe get a big money. The question is, would you give that person a percentage to make them even more able to take all the land from you? So it's really a tricky situation. But for me, I'm happy with my situation that if I'm getting to that point, or if I ever get to that point, that I could say my relative, my family would certainly be happy because of the way I think.
Okay,
my friend.
So
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so let's just wrap. Andre, and that's what, again, with the discussion, I wanted to talk about that expectation of reciprocity, that inequality, the entitlement that sometimes siblings have, that they feel they must get. There's an expectation that their siblings must help. And I am not saying, of course, the ideal would be that you have a strong family bond, and if you have and you can help, that you do help. Because I think if I was a millionaire and, you know, whatever I could do, it would be to my parents first and foremost, and then of course if I have to give my siblings, I would. But I think the expectation, and that's what I wanted us to get away from, that your siblings they must give you, and especially if you keep on giving, sometimes some siblings are in a better position, and the other sibling, because they expect that sibling must continue to help them, they don't do anything to get themselves out of their current situation. And because you're their brother, Andre, you will have to continue giving them money, and not holding them accountable for their own, you know, their own lives.
Well, I did say to you at the beginning of the program that Oprah Winfrey brought that issue up. She said, you keep coming after her and so on.
That's right.
So that I understand.
The expectation, remember, and that's what I was saying too.
Remember I was saying to you, it depends on the situation, right? It depends on what you're going through.
That was their lamenting, whether or not you're going through it. Whether or not you're
I gave the example over and over again. I said, if you are fallen on hard times, things are really, really bad with you, and you have a sibling that's doing very, very, very well, I would expect the sibling to help me.
I'm sure a lot of them.
You had to tell you, I would expect
you would expect Well, based on the relationship. Maybe that sibling decided that Andre was not my brother a long time ago, and I had given Andre nothing, and they win whatever. They didn't give you anything, even if you expect it. So your expectations, it's going to go to naught, because you will not get anything.
But as I said to you, Lotus,
but the ideal would be
we help other people, we help strangers, we do it.
I know we do. But again, like I said, it's about the relationships that we do not have with the strangers. Sometimes things are neutral, so that person have not done us anything. So it's often tied to what we feel that is there, that relationship or not, that hurt, that pain, that separation, that healing that must happen. Sometimes these things are barriers to the ultimate response that we would like from our siblings.
Yes, there are barriers, but I think
there should be
it's important that we try to override those things.
Well, of course, we want to get to that place, Andrew.
Yeah, we feel that way. We are angry, we are hurt over what has happened in the past and so on. It's true, but we forgive strangers. We do forgive strangers.
We do, Andrew. We do. Okay.
And your own sibling, despite what has happened, and sometimes you have some really, really bad things that happen.
That's what I'm saying.
not disputing
that's what I'm saying. So
you have for example, you have a father who wasn't there for you, never there for you, and say, for example, you see that father has lost his legs, things like that.
Yeah, and then
the man is on a wheelchair on the road, someplace, and you're telling me, right? You can, despite what happened. You do it want to very well.
Let him be in that position, and I can see where you're coming from on that side, because for me loyalty is important in terms of making sure that my family does not end up in that position.
And you heard what the earlier caller said. That again, sorry, this hard thing. Well, it's their comeuppance. Right, it's karma. That's why they have it.
We are emotional beings as well, Andre. And there's a process.
That's rough, man.
In our healing, and of course that's why we try to get better. But we are happy that you're the small Christ on earth.
You know, one time there was a politician many years ago. They used to call him TJZ.
But Andre, yes, this discussion, I was very, very excited for it.
You get many calls.
Yes, because I know people, have varying feelings, and as we are full of emotions, and I just want us to realize that we can have relationships with strangers that make us feel like they are our siblings, and sometimes our own siblings, we don't have those kind of relationships. Yeah, but we strive to get better, Andre.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, callers, listeners, for engaging me today. This was a fruitful discussion, and I hope we get better in our relationships.
Thank you, Lotus.
That when we get the windfall, we can help.
Yeah, and remember I gave you that other story about the $1.7 million in compensation.
Yes.
And he said he put it in the bank to gain interest. That's what he said.
Wow.
Yeah, to gain interest. and the father is in a bad way.
I need to know that backstory.
and I asked him, I said to the father, do you have a good relationship with your son?
And he said yes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Although he could say that, maybe he thinks and
that's not
the situation as far as the other party is concerned. Yeah. Okay, thank you as always, Lotus, for your service. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And have yourself a great day until next week, Wednesday, same time, God willing.
Yes,
all right,
for sure.
For another Unrestricted with
Have
Lotus.
a wonderful day, everybody.
Okay, so those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and also on X, we'll just take a little break and get back to you for Hard Drive.